bit streaming. So good evening, everyone. Let us be present on this our second lecture of projectile motion. Earlier, अपन ने we found out how to find the different cases of projectile, like how to do the calculation, how to find the parabolic equation and all those kind of parts, how to write the velocity equation and all these kind of things. Now we wrote even the trajectory equation of the projectile. How to write the trajectory equation, that's also we got to know, and this was given as x tan theta minus half gx square by u square cos square theta. Today we are going to discuss some special cases of projectile. Why done projectile special cases, and then we will do numericals on that. Those who didn't have watched the previous lecture, it's available on YouTube as lecture 1. Please go and watch it because it's necessary. Now, when I am going for a special cases, let us have a quick recap. We know that, let's suppose if I have any kind of a projectile, अरे कोई बात नहीं, बाद में देखा जाएगा. तो let us let us see. Let's suppose if I have velocity making angle alpha with the horizontal, then we know that this part of velocity is called as magnitude of v vector cos alpha. Okay, and this will be magnitude of v vector sin alpha. So our v is written as u basically. That is what is the projectile, and this in along horizontal direction there was no acceleration. So basically, if there was no acceleration along horizontal direction, this velocity never ever changes. It remains always same. Every point I have same velocity, which is magnitude of u cos alpha or something like that. Are you able to get me on? So with this terminology, we'll move ahead and we'll try to understand how to consider this projectile and all. Okay. So first thing, let me have a quick recap. Time of flight was given as 2u sin theta upon g, which is written as also 2uy upon g. Range was given as u square sine 2 theta upon g. This is also written as twice ux uy upon g, and height was given as u square sine square theta upon 2g. That was my maximum height of the projectile. Okay, so with this idea, we'll try to move ahead and we'll try to see the things. Now, first point, when I'm writing this trajectory equation, got it? When we consider the trajectory equation of projectile, which is written as y is equal to x tan theta minus half g x square by u square cos square theta. This was my trajectory equation or not? Granth, yes or no? Yes? Okay. Now, with this help of trajectory equation, I can optimize this trajectory equation with respect to ourselves. And this can be written as simple that I want to optimize this trajectory equation. The reason for this is, you will see why and why I'm optimizing it. Now look over here. If I see this equation x tan theta, can I just multiply half gx square, like just multiply sine theta in numerator, then what I will get here? The u square cos square theta into sine theta. Can I write like this way or not? Tell me. So basically, what this becomes? Bolo. So x tan theta minus half gx square. This is sine theta, and just I can do one thing. I can take one cos theta out of this, and sin theta by cos theta is what? Once again, tan theta. So gx square tan theta by this will become u square cos theta into sin theta. Are you able to get me or not? Everyone, is this clear or not? If you look over here, what is this basically? Y is equal to x tan theta minus x square tan theta. Can I write like this way? Can I bring this g in the denominator of it? That is twice u square. And I'll write u square. This is 2 sin theta into cos theta. That is written as sine 2 theta upon g as numerator. Because if g goes up, no problem is there. You can see that this formula is the formula of range or not, guys? Tell me yes or no. Yes. Yes. So that is a formula of what? Range. So basically, the equation of y in terms of range is also written as, I can take x tan theta common bracket 1 minus x by r. So this is another equation of trajectory, which we need to keep in our mind whenever we are solving a problem in which the range is mentioned specifically in the given question. Are you able to get me or not? Are you able to get me? So basically, we have y is equal to x tan theta, and this is my equation of trajectory. So two equations of trajectory we have. First one involving the angle theta and angle of projection. This involves, remember, angle of projection, and basically you can say that initial velocity. While this equation has no angle of projection, while this equation involves angle of projection, but without initial velocity, it includes the range. So remember that whenever in the question, if range is given, angle of projection is given, an equation of trajectory is mentioned, then you can find x and y coordinate. Whenever in the question, angle of projection is given and initial velocity is given, then you can use this formation to find the equation of motion. Are you able to get me or not? And this is are called as some interrelation between range and initial velocity of the projection. Are you able to get me on? So this is asked in your exam. This is asked in your Telangana board exam. They give you this derivation. Word or not? Okay. So is this clear till now? Okay. So now let us move to our one more special case. Now, as I have told you that time of light, let's suppose bring this diagram, and let us talk in this diagram. So look over here. When I see, so if I project this particle not with V, let us consider it as U. Word or not? And this alpha is not, it is theta basically. Are you able to get me or not? So basically this is y coordinate, this is x coordinate. This is the range of the particle. Got it? This is maximum height of the particle. Now, I didn't calculate the h max. I told you that when we consider the total time of flight, basically total time of flight means the time of flight for which the particle hits the ground, means for the range, for the time for which the particle is in air. That was my concept of total time of flight. So this h max is obtained at half of the total time of flight or not? Tell me yes or no. So when I have the equation of, basically your x coordinate equation was written as u cos theta into time t, and the y coordinate equation was written as, you can look over here, if this is u cos theta, that is u sin theta. So I told you y was written as u sin theta t minus half gt square. So this was my x and y coordinate of the particle with respect to time, isn't it? Now, if you look over here, when I consider half of the total time of flight. When t is exactly equal to capital T by 2, that means u sine theta upon g, then y displacement is going to become h max or not? Tell me yes or no. This displacement along y will be just equal to how much? H max. Are you able to get me or not? For total time of flight, y is how much? 0. But for half of the time of flight, this y value is exactly equal to h max or not? Guys, is this clear? So for h max, I can write the equation in y. H max is equal to u sine theta. Time t has changed to t half, that is u sine theta upon g minus r g t square, that is u square sine square theta upon g square. When g square, this will cancel, and this is also u square sine square theta upon g minus half u square sine square theta upon g. So what I am left with? I'm left with h max is equal to, therefore, u square sine square theta upon twice g. And that is the formula for maximum height of the projectile. Are you able to get me or not? So ultimately we got all the things. Ultimately we found out how to find the time of flight, how to find the range, and how to find maximum height of the projectile. Is this clear for everyone, guys? Dheeraj, Anvita, Aniska Tiwari ji, clear hai? Okay. हाँ, tell me. Uh, कौन सा फॉर्मूला? बी स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू यू स्क्वायर प्लस 2as. हाँ हाँ, इसमें v जीरो लेंगे किस केस के लिए बालक? अच्छा देखो, जब हम ये अप्लाई करेंगे, अगर एच मैक्स लगाना है तो हम इसको भी अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, कंफर्म अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, बट हमें इसको लगाना होगा वर्टिकल डायरेक्शन, बिकॉज मेरा जो फाइनल वेलोसिटी है एट द टॉप मोस्ट पॉइंट ओनली इज नॉट फुली जीरो. Horizontal velocity will never ever change, isn't it? That's what is the my logic of the projectile, that whatever happens. Yes. हाँ, बट कौन सी वेलोसिटी भी इक्वल टू जीरो होगी? जो वर्टिकल वेलोसिटी, हाँ, हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी हरदम कांस्टेंट रहेगी, लेकिन जो वर्टिकल वेलोसिटी है वो तुम्हारी क्या हो जाएगी? एच मैक्स के ऊपर कितनी हो जाएगी? जीरो. वी अलोंग वाई, नॉट अलोंग एनी अदर डायरेक्शन. आर यू एबल टू गेट मी और नॉट? ये जो वर्टिकल वेलोसिटी है वाई कंपोनेंट की, बेसिकली दैट विल बी जीरो इन प्रोजेक्टाइल, नॉट x component. Vertical velocity along x component is still same, u cos theta. Are you able to get me on? And here it will be given as u minus gt, whatever time I'm calculating. U sin theta minus gt, sorry. एक बात बताओ, what do you mean by maximum height? After maximum height, you only tell me how a particle will change a direction. No. Let's suppose I'm traveling on a straight line, and here there is a wall and I want to change my direction. There is a car over here which is traveling. Okay, it's going like this way and it wants to change its direction. What should happen over here? Its velocity must become how much? Zero. If it is not zero, it will hit the wall or not? Tell me yes or no. Are you able to get me, Raksha? Raksha, yes? Is this clear or not? If it is not going to become zero, then what will happen? It will hit the wall. Okay, so if you want to take a turn, if you want to change your direction, then you need to make your velocity to be zero. Means if you want to change your direction, directly opposite. So earlier the particle was going vertically upwards, see that before here, and suddenly at this point the particle changes its direction vertically downwards. How is that possible when the vertical velocity becomes zero at this point? Are you able to get me on? Is it clear now? Got it? So remember that in the projectile there are three important parts. Before h max I travel vertically upwards. After h max I travel vertically downwards. Clear out. So therefore, remember that when I was discussing this projectile part over here, I discussed the same thing only, that along horizontal nothing changes, but along vertical everything is going to change. Right or not? Because vertical velocity, because you only see the acceleration means the force is not along horizontal direction, means that the horizontal acceleration is basically equal to zero. But if you look over here, the vertical direction, there is a retardation of minus g meter per second square when the particle goes vertically upwards. Are you able to get me or not? So that is one of the most another reason that the velocity will become zero. Is this clear? Laksha, is this clear totally now? Okay. So this way you can also guys tell that, as sir, as you can consider that as I'm moving, you can take an example of this. Let me take this example. Controls. Let's take this example. As I am moving, let me have a quick recap in a better way right now. I think you guys are still little bit requiring a thing. So this is u. Let us call it as u, and this is theta. So this is u cos theta, u sin theta. Remember, along horizontal acceleration is 0, while along vertical acceleration is minus g meter per second square. Look over here, isn't it? So when the particle is over here, as the horizontal acceleration is 0, so initial velocity remains as it is, but what changes is my vertical velocity. Vertical velocity because presence of g over here. So as the particle is going upwards, g is working downwards or not. So g work like a retardation in the upward direction, right or not? And this is why Vy over here is given by equation u sin theta minus gt. Is this clear? Amukta, Moktika, is this clear? Are you guys here? Okay. Sarika, where is Satvika? Making reels. Pranavi, is this clear? Okay. So are you able to understand this, guys? So this is the factor. Remember that always this term acceleration along horizontal is 0, acceleration along vertical is g meter per second square. Are you able to get me? Okay. Please keep your mic down, others. Okay. So look over here. As I calculated h max, which is u square sin square theta upon 2 we calculated range also. We calculated uh, time of flight also. Now, let's suppose the question arises, sir, as you are throwing this projectile at any angle, my question is very, very simple, sir. That let's suppose when I am throwing this projectile, let us talk about this. Let us talk about this in this paper, special cases. So, when I am throwing this projectile, suddenly I want this range of the projectile to be maximum. First special case. I want my range of projectile to be what? Maximum. Question arises, how it will become? If you look over here, हाँ बोलो. हाँ बेसिकली रेंज हमें ये मैक्सिमम चाहिए. I want this range to be maximum. Basically, initial velocity will not change, g will not change. What can change is my angle of projection. I want my angle of projection in such a way that the range is maximum. If you look over here, the maximum value of sine theta is 1. Maximum value of sine theta is how much? 1. But that is possible at 90 degree or not. So that means that anyhow this sine 2 theta must be equal to sine 90. So that implies theta is equal to how much? 45 degree. So when I project a particle with angle of 45 degree projection, the range attained by the particle is always maximum. Are you able to get me or not? Is it clear, guys? Next special case is, कुछ नहीं, दिमाग देख, दिमाग इसमें खराब नहीं करना. मैक्सिमम तेरे को रेंज चाहिए ना. यस. अब मैक्सिमम रेंज चाहिए तो हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? बेसिकली initial velocity is always constant, g is always constant. So I want this range to be maximum. How is that possible? Basically sine 2 theta must become maximum, or and maximum value of sine theta is 1, which is possible at what angles? 90 degrees. Are you able to get me or not? So basically sine 2 theta is equal to sine 90, sine cancel, so theta is equal to how much? 40. I don't know. So you will get only the maximum range, not maximum height. Maximum range is attained at theta is equal to 45 degree. Are you able to get me or not? Is this clear? Okay. Now, another special case is like, let's suppose I keep the and speed of projection to be similar, or velocity of projection to be similar, but the projection is at two angles, is at two angles which are given as, let's suppose I project a particle, one at theta 1 is equal to, let's suppose 30 degree, and another at theta 2 is equal to 60 degree. दीपू तुम्हारा माइक ऑन है, कुछ पूछना है? Okay, so देखिए, look over here, I project two particles with same initial velocity, but I'm projecting at theta 1 is equal to 30 and theta 2 is equal to how much? 60. Find the range in first case. R1 will be equal to what? U square 2 sine 30 cos 30 divided by G. Right or not? Find range R2. It is equal to U square 2 sine 60 cos 60 divided by G. What is sine 60? Root 3 by 2. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So 2 will cancel. So this will become U square root 3 by 2G. When you will calculate this also, this is also same. Sine 30 is 1 by 2, but cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So this is also U square root 3 by 2G. So what do you observe? When I have this 30 and 60, the ranges of the particles are same or not? Tell me yes or no. बोलना भाई हाँ या ना? Yes. This kind of angle are called as complementary angle. What they are called as? Complementary. Basically, the point is very simple, that when you project the particle with such initial speed, same initial speed, but their angle of projection, like let's suppose I projected two particles, they are at angle of projection alpha and beta, and their angle of projection is a sum of 90 degree. So remember, for both of them, range will be always same. What will be the condition? Range will be always same. So let's suppose if I project one particle with theta, another angle will be what? 90 minus theta. So look over there, their heights are different, type of lights are different, but what is same for them? Range is same, and this is called as complementary angle calculation. Are you able to get me or not? Is this clear? Are you able to get me, guys? ठीक, तो चलो अब हम इस चीज को लेकर, तो अपन ने बहुत सारा चीज समझ लिया, अपन के पास प्रोजेक्टाइल थी, अपन ने वेक्टर फॉर्म सीखा, हाउ टू राइट द वेक्टर फॉर्म, व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन इन रियलिटी, what are the vector equations, why there is a projectile, what is the path equation of projectile. Then we got to know how to find the range, then we got to know what is the condition of maximum range, and what is the condition of let's suppose angle of angle of projection and range. Go ahead or not? Then we got to know how to find the H max. Then we also understood what is actually in the happening in projectile. If you look over here, that at the maximum point, at the maximum height, velocity is specifically in the vertical direction 0, but not along horizontal is 0. So NIT 2017, there was a question: does the kinetic energy of projectile become 0 or not? Remember that kinetic energy of projectile never becomes 0. Got it or not? But potential energy means energy does not remains conserved over here. If you look over here, potential energy of projectile is maximum at maximum height, while it is zero on the ground. Are you able to get me or not? So basically, kinetic energy never becomes zero, but potential energy changes to maximum and becomes zero on the ground. Are you able to get me or not? Is this clear or not, guys? हाँ बोलो. हॉरिजॉन्टल हॉरिजॉन्टल में हॉरिजॉन्टल में एक्सेलरेशन जीरो होती है तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी जीरो होती है. ये एक बात बता बेटा, काइनेटिक एनर्जी का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है बे? इतना मार मारूंगा ना, काइनेटिक काइनेटिक एनर्जी का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? हाफ एम बी स्क्वायर. If it is half mv square, so it is dependent on velocity directly or not. Where the factor of acceleration will come over here. सदमे में है ना केतन? अरे उसके साथ वो बैठे हुए हैं ना दोनों अकड़म पकड़म अक्षय दोनों. चलो. Okay, now let us move on to some good level of question. Let us do some good level of question. Okay, where you will stuck, I know that. Let us do some imaginative questions. Go ahead. Okay, I'll pick up one by one questions. Okay, so let's suppose I told you there is a projectile. Okay, question is very simple. Find the time at which the initial velocity of projection and final velocity of projection are perpendicular to each other. Those who didn't want to study, do not waste time over here because I'm going to do some serious question now. Question is very simple, guys. That let's suppose I project a particle, then you have to say, let's suppose this is initial velocity u and this is angle theta. Question is very simple, that find the time when this initial velocity of projection is exactly perpendicular to the final velocity. Wherever it is going to be, I do not know, but they will be perpendicular at some point. You have to find that time when it will be perpendicular. ग्रंथ बनाओ अच्छे से, सौम्या बनाओ, अनिष्का वगैरह सबसे बनना चाहिए, नहीं बनाना देख लेना तुम लोग. u by z है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Anyone? बताओ. Find the time when this velocity of projection, initial velocity of projection is perpendicular to the final velocity of projection. Tell me, that's a nice question. Raksha, कुछ आंसर? 2u by g. ओजस्विनी 2u by g. Confirm? मैं सच बता रहा हूँ, मैं तेरे को निकाल देना, मैं उसको बोल शांत से रहा. u by g। अच्छा, कैसे निकाला तुम लोगों ने, क्या किया? अच्छा हैं। ये एनीवन एल्स? देख, परपेंडिकुलर तो होगा, बहुत अच्छी बात तूने बोली, लेकिन परपेंडिकुलर कैसे होगा ये बात पे डिस्कस करना है। धीरज, सौम्या आंसर t is equal to 0. So let us have a quick understanding of it. I asked you, at any time, whenever is the time, find the point where initial velocity of the particle is perpendicular to the final velocity. This is my initial velocity direction. Yes. Let's suppose somewhere over here in this whole path, the final velocity is perpendicular. Basically, this will be the diagram or not. This is my final velocity, which is perpendicular to the initial velocity. What you are saying, I do not know, but this is the diagram, real diagram. Now, this final velocity is over here of the particle. But one thing I know, that in this final velocity also, horizontal component is still same. If it is projected with u, then this horizontal velocity is u cos theta. So here also this is same. It is u cos theta only. But ये angle change हो जाएगा. Let's suppose the angle made with the horizontal is alpha. This is u sin theta. This is basically u sin theta. And this is vertical velocity direction. And you know that vertical velocity is given as u sin theta minus gt. I'm asking about this time, this particular time where the particle velocity is perpendicular. Anonymous, there is a YouTube message. Is it necessary to gain maximum height in time t by 2 time period? The answer is it's half of the total time period, not 2 time period. Okay. So look over here. Basically, Vy is u sin theta minus how much? Zt. Are you able to get till here? Are you clear, guys? Everyone? Is this making sense to you? Is the diagram is making sense to you? Ketan, Raksha, Soumya, Moktika, everyone? Is this clear? Confirm? So, with the help of this diagram, you can see that particularly that our final velocity makes a particular kind of a perpendicular projection at some angle at some time t, and that random time I have to find. Quite up. So I was asking about this question. Now this question, as I told you, is an exceptional question. Mark it as VVI. वो जो तुम्हारे खान सर है ना, उनकी हवा निकल जाएगी ये क्वेश्चन मारने में। ठीक है, तो देख, सुन सुन अभी अभी सुन। तो अपन के पास वेलोसिटी वेक्टर क्या लिख सकते हैं? बेसिकली वेलोसिटी वेक्टर, फाइनल वेलोसिटी वेक्टर इज, यू नो, इट इज रिटन एज u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta minus gt j cap. See how to do this problem. While initial velocity vector is written as u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap. But what do you mean by perpendicular? If two vectors are perpendicular, that means their dot product is always zero or not? I have told you always, do not take mind questions as easy question. They are logical question. Basically, you have to apply the logic. So here the logic was that you have to take the dot product of final velocity vector and initial velocity vector. because their dot product is always 0. Are you able to get me or not? So v dot u is 0 at that time when they are perpendicular. क्या मेरी बातें सबको समझ में आ रही है? Is this clear or not, guys? मतलब रिजल्ट रट्टा मार के तो सब कोई बोल सकता है, लेकिन प्रूव करके दिखाओ. ध्यान से देखो, u डॉट v निकालो, i डॉट i 1 होता है, j डॉट j 1 होता है, बट i डॉट j क्या होता है? 0. We know that. So u, it will be written as what I can write. It will be u cos theta into u cos theta, which is u square cos square theta, and this will be plus u sin theta minus gt into u sin theta, and that is equal to how much? 0. So if you solve it, what you will get? U square cos square theta plus u square sin square theta minus ug sin theta into time t, and that is equal to how much? 0. Are you able to get me or not? So basically this term, this whole term will just be u square, because cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So that I can write it as u square common, or I can write it as what? I can write it as ug sin theta t as u square, u cancel, and time t, where the initial velocity and final velocity are perpendicular, is u by g sin theta. Is at what time? U by g sin theta. क्या बालक ओजस्विनी, समझ में आया? बढ़िया क्वेश्चन था ना? मजा आया कि नहीं आया बताओ? हाँ देखो, बोला था इजी क्वेश्चन, और अभी पैंट में सुसु कर रहा था अभी जब बोला था आंसर तो. हाँ अच्छा. नहीं, केतन ने सबसे पहले सही बताया था, एंड दैट वाज u by g sin theta. यस. ओके, एक और क्वेश्चन दूं? हाँ बोल. तेरा आवाज कट रहा है भाई. मैसेज कर. पहले 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 एक और क्वेश्चन, एक और क्वेश्चन, क्वेश्चन दे लेंगे फिर आगे बात करेंगे. चिट चैट होती रहेगी हमारे बीच. हम चिट चैट का टाइम अभी गया. लेट अस सॉल्व वन मोर क्वेश्चन, वन इजी क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, बनाओ तुम लोग, अच्छे से बनाओ, थोड़ा ध्यान दो. सेम काइंड ऑफ डायग्राम रहेगा. ओके, it's saying that this v vector is given as, means angle of velocity of projection is 60 meter per second, and angle of projection is 53 degree. Alpha is given 53. Why don't know? Question is, these are given. Question is, first question, find the speed of particle when it is at maximum height. Second, sorry, not find the speed of particle when it is at half of the maximum height. Question B, direction of motion, we have to solve it fast. Direction of motion with the horizontal at t is equal to 4 seconds. Will the kinetic and potential energy will be conserved if we throw it on the ramp or down? Kinetic energy and potential energy is only conserved when your path whichever path you are considering does not have friction. Okay. So if I throw it up or down, it must be that friction is not considered. If you are just considering it is thrown on the inclined plane, if the inclined plane does not have friction, then only it will be conserved. Otherwise, it will be not non-conserved. Okay. This was the question on YouTube. Anonymous. What's your name? Can I know? तुम लोग बनाओ बालक क्वेश्चन बन जाएगा ग्रंथ बनेगा बनाइए बनाइए हाँ बोलो कितना आ रहा है फर्स्ट का आंसर कितना है टाइप करके लिखते टाइप करके लिख there was a question on YouTube that फर्स्ट का आंसर क्या है स्पीड ऑफ द पार्टिकल व्हेन इट इज हाफ ऑफ द मैक्सिमम हाइट 6 नहीं भाई सोचो जरा ओके नहीं ट्राई कर 6 आई कैप प्लस 34 जे कैप कुछ इसी तरह का आना चाहिए यस there is a question on YouTube that if we are throwing a particle standing on an inclined plane and throw it down, what happens to the conservation of energy? So understand if there is no non-conservative force, energy remains conserved. So if you remember that our whole thing is happening under a conservative force, like if we think about, let's suppose this whole projectile motion. So this projectile motion is happening under gravity, and gravitational force is a conservative force. So whether you throw it up or down on an inclined plane, its kinetic energy might not remain conserved. Its potential energy might not remain conserved, but total energy is always conserved. Word or So if you say about total energy, that is conserved, but the kinetic energy and potential energy, as usual, it will vary with respect to dependent on situation. Right or not? So remember, it depends on property of conservative forces, non-conservative forces. Conservation of mechanical energy is dependent on conservative forces. Right or not? So if you are standing on inclined plane and throwing it down towards bottom, definitely your kinetic energy is going to change and potential energy is going to change. Kinetic energy is going to increase, potential energy is going to decrease. But the point is total mechanical energy is always conserved because gravitational force is a conservative force. There are four kinds of forces for which the total energy always remains conserved. Tension force, spring force, and gravitational force and electrostatic force. Why or not? For them, always you need to consider if there is no non-conservative force in the picture, their energy is total mechanical energy is always conserved. Why or not? Okay. Others, you guys, now you solve this question. Tell me what will be the answer. Find the speed of the particle when it is at half of the maximum height. Guys, which equation I will use? Not like yes, we can apply work energy theorem. Definitely, we can apply work energy theorem. Okay. 50. Acha, if we look over here clearly, this V, but applying work energy theorem will be very, very hard. Okay. V vector, as I know, it is given as 60 meter per second, and this angle is how much? 53 degree. So this is what? 60 cos 53 or not? And yes, and this is 60 sine 50. So this is 60 into cos 53 is 3 by 5, isn't it? So this is how much? It will be 36 ना? कितना हो जाएगा? 36 and ये होगा 60 into 4 by 5. तो ये कितना हो गया? 48 मीटर पर सेकंड. वर्टिकल वाला आ गया 48 मीटर पर सेकंड, है ना? So question is find the speed of the particle when it is at half of the maximum height. Half of the maximum height. Let's suppose basically if this is the maximum height, then this is my half of the maximum height or not. I want the speed. So basically horizontal velocity will be remain same. I need to find the vertical velocity or not. Tell me yes or no. Guys, yes or no? I need to find Vy. This will be still 36 meter per second. So what I can apply? Basically half of the maximum height is asking. So basically I need to first find maximum height. That is what is the formula? U square sine square theta upon 2z. Okay. If I apply u square sine square theta, what is u? 60 square sine square theta, that is sine 53 degree square or not? Tell me yes or no, and divide by 2 into z. G is how much? 10. Are you able to get me or not? So basically how much this will come? Sine square 53, sine 53 is 4 by 5. So you can write h max is equal to 3600 into this is how much? 16 by 25 into 2 into 10, isn't it? That is my h max. Are you able to get me or not? Clear? So this 0 0 will cancel, and this is 2 into 180, isn't it? Yes, so therefore I need to find at height h is equal to h max by 2. So h max by 2 means what? Basically it will be, you can say 180 into 16 by 2, that is 8. 180 into 8 by 25, that is my h max. So to basically to find Vy, this anonymous guy, I'll just wait for 2 minutes. I'll talk. I'll just give you a hint after this problem. Okay. So h max, h is equal to h max by 2, which is 180 into 8 by 25. Therefore, to apply to find this Vy, if I know my height, then I can apply now V square is equal to U square plus 2s along vertical direction. Everyone, is this clear or not? Tell me. So if I apply Vy square is equal to Uy square plus 2as, right or not? And that is acceleration along y, displacement along y. So V along y I need to find out. U along y is given already, and that is 48 meter per second square. Then minus 2, acceleration is 10 as you know that, and displacement h max h is given, which is 180 into 8 divided by 25. Is this clear or not? So it is your task to find this whole value Vy, word or not? Got it? Now when I know my Vy and I know my this Vx, speed at this height is what? Simple. Speed at height h is nothing but root under Vx square plus Vy square. So it's your task to find this, word or not? Is it clear, guys? Okay. Second part of the question was that you have to calculate the direction of motion with horizontal at t is equal to 4 seconds. I told you that day when I was teaching you vectors that direction of motion means finding the angle theta alpha with the horizontal, word or not? Or let's suppose theta with the horizontal. Are you able to get me? So how to find? Basically, I know my vertical velocity equation at time t, that is u sine theta minus gt. When I know my horizontal velocity equation at time t, that is u cos theta. So basically, this tan theta, whatever this angle is made over here, let us call it as theta, or let us call it whatever you want to term, alpha, theta, whatever you want to say. So that is given by tan theta will be given by vertical velocity component by horizontal velocity component or not. So this is written as tan theta is equal to u sine theta, or let us call it as alpha in our form. So this is tan alpha is equal to u sine theta minus gt divided by u cos theta. So this is alpha. Let us call this as what? Alpha. Is this clear, guys? So basically, what I will get as tan alpha? Tan alpha is equal to u sine theta. I have got already, that is 48 minus g is 10, and at time 4 second divided by u cos theta. U cos theta is 36. So tan alpha is equal to, this is how much? 48 minus 20. Yes, so 8 by 36, which is 2 by 9. Are you able to get me or not? Is it clear? Clear? Everyone, is this clear for you? Let us do one last question. Okay. Of today, and at that time I'll have a discussion with this YouTube guy. Question is very simple. Let's suppose if it is projected with initial velocity u and angle theta, word or not? Then find, question is, at what time the direction of motion will become theta by 2 below the horizontal. Two below the horizontal. Okay, so YouTube guy, okay, if we are standing on a building, we threw a ball up and it goes up and fell down to the bottom. So in this total flight, total mechanical energy is conserved. You are saying that when I, is the question is clear for all other guys? Everyone? Guys, can you hear me? Raksha, is this clear? Vasu? Anvita, is this clear? Dheeraj? नहीं नहीं, बिल्डिंग वाला नहीं, ये बनाओ, ये बनाओ, प्रोजेक्टाइल वाला बनाओ। हाँ, थीटा/2 तुम्हारा अल्फा है, ठीक है। ये मैं यूट्यूब का एक क्वेश्चन है कि सर बालक एक बात समझो कि अगर हम किसी भी बॉडी को किसी भी बिल्डिंग के ऊपर से फेंकते हैं, ऊपर जाएगा नीचे जाएगा, कुछ भी हो जाए, इस बॉडी के ऊपर एक ही फोर्स लग रही है, एंड दैट इज द फोर्स ऑफ ग्रेविटी। कुछ भी कर लो, चाहे ऊपर नीचे जहां भी लेके जाओ, क्योंकि ऊपर में वेलोसिटी जब जाएगी तो वेलोसिटी ये जो जीरो हो रही है ड्यू टू द फोर्स ऑफ ग्रेविटी, and when it is going down, that is also due to the force of gravity, and force of gravity is a conservative force. So total mechanical energy always remains conserved whether I throw it anywhere. So you have to remember in terms of the conservative force must be remembered with terms of force of conservative force or not. If there is a presence of non-conservative force, then only mechanical energy is non-conserved. If there is only conservative force, mechanical energy beta always it is conserved, whether you throw it from inclined plane, whether you throw it from top of a building, whether you throw it from ground, or whether you throw it deep inside the ground. Heard or not? So it depends on the forces, the nature of forces. If you have a conservative force, your mechanical energy is always conserved at every moment of time, at every path. But if if in the question, if you have non-conservative force, then only the total mechanical energy is non-conservative. Remember that. Okay. नहीं 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 नहीं, पार्टिकल पे कभी नहीं डिपेंड करती है, ये बात हरदम याद रखो। नहीं, मैकेनिकल एनर्जी मींस काइनेटिक एनर्जी प्लस पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। भाई ये चीज जो है वो फोर्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि तुम्हारे बॉडी के ऊपर फोर्स कौन सा लग रहा है। अगर ये फोर्स कंजर्वेटिव है तभी ये दोनों चीजें, ये टोटल मैकेनिकल एनर्जी कंजर्व्ड है। अगर ये फोर्स नॉन कंजर्वेटिव है तो ये पूरी की पूरी मैकेनिकल एनर्जी कंजर्व नहीं रहेगी। वर्ड और नॉट। तो ये बात याद रखो कि कोई भी बॉडी अगर फोर्स एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा है, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, उसके बाद टेंशन फोर्स, उसके बाद स्प्रिंग फोर्स, उसके बाद इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स, उसके बाद यू कैन से और कौन सा फोर्स था, चार ही था शायद, मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा है ज्यादा। सो हाँ, नॉर्मल। अगर ये पांच फोर्सेस प्रेजेंट है तो ये सारे पांचों फोर्सेस कंजर्वेटिव फोर्सेस होते हैं, और इसके लिए हरदम मैकेनिकल एनर्जी कंजर्व रहती है। ओके। लेकिन अगर मान लो तुम्हारे पास नॉन कंजर्वेटिव, अगर इन्हीं के साथ फ्रिक्शन आ गया, ठीक है, तो जैसे ही फ्रिक्शन लगा तो ये एनर्जी कंजर्व नहीं होगी। समझ में आई बात? अच्छा, इज दिस क्लियर और नॉट? तो मैकेनिकल एनर्जी इज नॉट अ फंक्शन ऑफ पार्टिकल, मैकेनिकल एनर्जी इज द फंक्शन ऑफ force. Word or not? How the force is applied? If your force is conservative, then the mechanical energy is conserved wherever you throw it, wherever you go, wherever you want to travel. If the force is non-conservative, then mechanical energy is always non-conservative. Clear? ठीक है। प्रियांशु राय सर, एक डाउट था, बोलिए। यस, आई एम लाइव। हाँ, लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग हो रही है। अच्छा यार, क्वेश्चन अच्छा पूछ रहे हो। इज दिस, आई थिंक ये ओम है, केतन नहीं, ये अलग ओम है, एनोनोमस उसी का आता था। चलो ये क्वेश्चन बताओ, बोल रहा है कि एट व्हाट टाइम द डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन विल बिकम थीटा/2 बिलो द हॉरिजॉन्टल। ठीक है, इसके बाद एक लास्ट एक दो और क्वेश्चन करेंगे, उसके बाद खत्म करेंगे इस सेशन को। थीटा/2 बिलो हॉरिजॉन्टल मतलब 90% of the people thinks theta by below horizontal means over here, sir, this is theta/2. No, below horizontal means anywhere in this region. Horizontal means this line. And if it wants to become below horizontal, that means somewhere over here, what will happen? The velocity of particle will suddenly become, this is horizontal direction, then this becomes theta/2. Are you able to get me on? And this is my final velocity direction. Is this clear? So this is called as what? our direction of motion at theta by 2 below the horizontal. Are you able to get me, guys? Yes or no? Ojaswini, is this clear? Hello? Daksha, is this clear? Can you hear me, guys? Okay. Point is very, very simple. That we can see that this is u cos theta and this is u sin theta. ग्रंथ यहीं पर हो ना, तो ये बताया नहीं यार क्वेश्चन तुमने। चल रही है तो देख, मुझे चाहिए डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन थीटा बाई टू, मतलब आई नो माई बेसिकली if it is u cos theta here also the horizontal velocity is u cos theta, but vertical velocity is going to change or not, and that vertical velocity is how much? Simple, u sin theta minus gt. So basically if it is saying that theta by 2, then I know my tan value or not. It is talking about tan theta by 2, isn't it? You know that tan theta by 2 will be given as what? Perpendicular velocity, that is u sin theta minus gt. Is this clear or not? Divided by u cos theta. Are you able to get me or not? Are you able to get me? But what is this tan? If I write tan theta by 2, how to write it basically? You can write now u cos. So equation becomes u cos theta into tan theta by 2 is equal to u sin theta माइनस जी टी। अब इसको ट्राई करो सॉल्व करने का, कैसे सॉल्व होगा, कौन बताएगा? कोई तो सॉल्व कर सकता है? सॉल्व तो हो सकता है बट बहुत टाइम लगेगा। टाइम नहीं लगेगा, देखो हम जी टी इज इक्वल टू क्या लिख सकते हैं, यू साइन थीटा माइनस यू कॉस थीटा इंटू टैन थीटा बाई 2। अब जो साइन थीटा होता है उसको हम लिख सकते हैं, रिमेंबर दैट, मैं एक फॉर्मूला बता रहा, इसको लिख सकते हैं 2 साइन थीटा बाई 2 कॉस थीटा बाई 2, वर्ड और, लेकिन इससे कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा, बात इसको तोड़ना पड़ेगा बहुत सारे टर्म में, तो इसको एज इट इज रहने दो, अभी जो तुम्हें फॉर्मूला पता है उसी पे रहने दो, that gt is equal to u sin theta minus u cos theta tan theta by 2. So therefore the time when it becomes half angle is, I can take u common, sin theta minus cos tan theta by 2 divided by how much? That's your answer. Are you able to get me or not? Is this clear? Everyone, is this clear, balaks? मुस्कान, समझ में आ रही है चीजें? ओके। उसके बाद सौम्या कहाँ गई? सौम्या चली गई? सौम्या नहीं है, चेतना नहीं है, सब भाग गए। इतना हार्ड है क्या यार फिजिक्स? सब सोने गए, सो जाने दो, नो प्रॉब्लम। एक लास्ट पार्ट मैं क्वेश्चन का करवाना चाहता हूँ। बोल रहा है कि लेट्स सपोज देयर इज अ प्रोजेक्टाइल, मतलब एक अपन का, अब दीपू का तुम्हें आदत पता ही है, एक छत से दूसरे छत पे जंप मारता है। अब बेचारा चॉकलेट के चक्कर में उसने क्या किया, वो यहाँ पे खड़ा है, लेट्स सपोज दीपू इज स्टैंडिंग ओवर हियर and the height of this building is given 25 meters, and this another building is located at exactly 8 meters, and the height of this another building is how much meters? Let's suppose 5 meters. This Deepu wants to jump from here to here. Question is, find the minimum velocity of Find the minimum velocity of Deepu such that he will not die. Such that he will not die. Word or not? That's your task. And this question, I'm trying to keep this question as homework because already it's time. So tomorrow we'll start with this idea of the question, word or not, and then I'll move ahead. Is this clear or not? So this you keep it as a homework. Take the screenshot, everyone, and keep it as homework. Then we'll discuss about these doubts which you have shared me. Okay? Got it? अरे हो गया स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो ठीक है चलो तो अब डाउट्स पे डिस्कस करते हैं जिसको जिसको डीपीपी वगैरह चाहिए यूट्यूब में जस्ट I think you have I have attached the Telegram group or you can what you can do you can message me. I think in the description something will be written. Check where you can message me. Just message me. I'll add you in the WhatsApp group. You can get the DPPs. Now this doubt was what it is saying. Four projectiles are projected with same speed at angle 20, 35, 60, 45 with the horizontal. The range will be maximum for the projectile whose angle of projection is simple here. You know that R max is there at R max is 45 degree, isn't it? When theta angle of projection is 45, then I have the R max, isn't it? So look over here. Question arises that when it will be maximum. बताओ कौन बताएगा अबे ओ मैक्सिमम बेसिकली मैक्सिमम कितने पर है 45 पर तो अगर अगर मतलब if I go above 45 the range will start decreasing so I'll draw this diagram what is this diagram I'll show you what if this is x this is initial velocity this is x this is y if the angle of projection is 45 then the range is maximum less than that range is minimum beyond that range is minimum are you able to get me or not is this clear so at 45 exactly I have the maximum range. So look over here. If you consider 20-degree, the range will be minimum. Means you can say the totally minimum. At 75 also totally minimum. Now I have a 35 and 60. If you look over here, 35-degree is 15-degree less than 45-degree, isn't it? Sorry, 10 degrees. 35-degree means 10-degree less than 45. Are you able to get me or not? While 60-degree means 15-degree more than 45. So that angle which is nearest to 45 will have maximum range or not. So that is why 35-degree is the correct answer. Are you able to get me or not? Remember, what is the answer? How to say? The nearest angle to the 45-degree have max range. Are you able to get me or not? Tell me yes or no, guys. Okay. Next was a particle is projected with speed u. After 2 seconds of projection, it is found that it is making an angle of 45-degree with the horizontal and 0-degree after 3 seconds. 0-degree after 3 seconds means when is the 0-degree after 3 seconds? When is the and like let's suppose if I consider see for any kind of projectile when is its speed making 0-degree? It is only possible at maximum height when the particle's velocity is only along the direction of horizontal. Are you able to get me or not? So basically this h max time is given. It is how much? T is equal to 3 seconds. So what's the problem over here? You know the total time of flight then. Total time of flight in the given question is 6 seconds. Are you able to get me or not? Or is this clear? And it is saying that after 2 seconds of projection, it is making 45 degree. Means after 2 seconds, if this is 3 seconds, so at 2 seconds, it might be over here, isn't it? So this velocity over here makes 45 degree with the horizontal. Are you able to get me or not? Okay. Is this clear? 2 सेकंड की जगह 3 सेकंड ले लो. And 0 degree after 3 seconds. Yes. So why 2 seconds की जगह 3 ले लो? Is this clear or not? Tell me yes or no. Are you able to get me? So right now here time is known to us. It is how much? 2 seconds. And this angle is making how much? U 45 degree with the horizontal. Are you able to get me or not? Is this clear? Not U. Let's suppose let us call this velocity as V. Okay, V. This was U. Got it. And this is theta. So this is 45 and this is V. So basically I can apply in a formula tan theta or tan 45 is equal to our perpendicular by base. So perpendicular is okay. I'll tell you first. Just wait for 2 minutes. Okay. So if I take tan 45 degree, then it is what? This vertical velocity is what? U sine theta minus gt, and this is u cos theta, isn't it? So tan 45 is u sine theta minus gt divided by u cos theta or not? Tell me yes or no, guys. Now tan 45 is how much? 1 u sine theta minus g is 10, and time at t second this angle is 45 degree or not. So 10 into 2 divided by how much? U cos theta. So basically you got your relation of u cos theta is equal to u sin theta minus 20. Are you able to get me or not? Is this clear, guys? Hello. Others, they are here or they have went? Are you guys here now? So look over here. As I got my relation of u cos theta and u sin theta, then what is left with now? What we can write? Basically, as we can write, this is making what are the options? Angle of projection is tan inverse 3. Angle of projection is tan inverse 1 by 3. Speed of projection is 30 root 2. Speed is this word or not? So basically, you tell me one thing. In this, at t is equal to exact 3 seconds, read the statement. स्क्रीन दिख रही है क्या सबको मेरी? ओके, तो देखो at t is equal to 3 seconds, my theta is 0 or not? Theta with the horizontal is 0. Basically, theta with the horizontal at 0 means I am at the maximum height, isn't it? Yes. So if I am at the maximum height, you only tell me. Basically, I can write the equation at maximum height. What happens? At maximum height, vertical velocity is 0 or not? Tell me yes or no. Guys, yes. So what is vertical velocity? You can write it now. U sine theta minus gt, and that is equal to how much? 0 at t is equal to 3 seconds. So u sine theta minus 10 into 3 is equal to how much? 0. So basically you got the relation for u sine theta or not. That is equal to how much? 30. So you can get u cos theta or not, guys? Tell me yes or no. That is how much? 30 minus 20, which is equal to how much? 10. Then I can find the ratio or not? Yes. उसको बोलो यार हाँ या ना. So this is sin theta by cos theta. बोलो. हाँ हाँ, t इज इक्वल टू 3 सेकेंड के लिए निकाला है. हाँ बट देखो, अरे तो ये बात समझो, ये थीटा क्या है? थीटा तो इनिशियल वेलोसिटी है ना, इनिशियल एंगल ऑफ प्रोजेक्शन है ना. ये थीटा जो यहाँ पे साइन थीटा और कॉस थीटा वाला टर्म यूज हो रहा है, दैट इज फॉर इनिशियल एंगल ऑफ प्रोजेक्शन और नॉट. तो उसका 45 या 0 डिग्री, उससे हमें क्या लेना देना? कुछ भी लेना देना नहीं है. समझ में आई बात? क्लियर हुआ? देख, बेसिकली इट इज, basically this is angle alpha which is 45, and here it is alpha is equal to 0. Right or not? So this alpha will relate vertical velocity and horizontal velocity, that's all. But this theta is not going to change. Right or not? So this is why when I write tan theta, that is equal to how much? 3 by 2. Are you able to get me or not? So theta is equal to angle of projection is tan inverse 3 by 2. Are you able to get me? Understood? हाँ बोलो. हाँ हाँ, तो देखो, तो सुनो, tan 45 पे यहाँ से रिलेशन है टाइम का, इससे इसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है. यू साइन थीटा और यू कोस थीटा का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. समझ में आई बात? और यहाँ पर जब हम यू साइन थीटा इज इक्वल टू जी टी 0 पुट कर रहे हैं, तो ये टाइम टी इज इक्वल टू 3 सेकंड पर है. ठीक है, तो वहां पर थीटा की वैल्यू 0 है. समझ में आई बात? देख, बेसिकली पॉइंट ये है, समझा रहा हूँ. क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है कि तुमने प्रोजेक्ट किया किसी इनिशियल वेलोसिटी से, है ना. अब ये जो इनिशियल वेलोसिटी है makes 0 degree. So here it makes 0 degree, means alpha is equal to 0 degree at t is equal to how much seconds? 3 seconds. That means vertical velocity is 0 over here. Are you able to get me or not? Got it. And here at t is equal to 2 seconds, this horizontal and vertical makes angle how much? 45. So this horizontal velocity and vertical velocity are component of this u cos theta and u sin theta or not? Tell me yes or no. So ये क्या आएगा? u cos theta, ये आएगा u sin theta minus gt. यहाँ पे भी आएगा u sin theta minus gt, और ये हो गया u cos theta. तो सिंपल सी बात है कि u sin theta minus gt यहाँ पे 0 होगा, और यहाँ पे हम लिखेंगे tan 45 डिग्री इज इक्वल टू u sin theta minus gt by u cos theta. Got it on? बट ये जो है ये कब है? ये किस टाइम इंटरवल 45 डिग्री है? 2 सेकेंड्स पर है. और ये कब 0 है? एट t इज इक्वल टू 3 सेकेंड्स पर. समझ में आई कि नहीं आई बात? तो इसमें ये थीटा का कोई लेना देना नहीं. थीटा तो यहाँ पर डिपेंड करता है, ये तो इनिशियल कंपोनेंट है. क्लियर? तो देखो, थीटा की वैल्यू कितनी आ गई? tan इनवर्स 3 by 2. एंड इफ यू नो basically tan theta, then you know your sin theta and cos theta. Basically if I know tan theta, then cos theta is what? Simple, base by hypotenuse. So base is 2, hypotenuse is how much? Root over 3 square plus 2 square, that is 2 by 2 by uh, 3 plus 2, 9 plus 4, that is root under 30, isn't it? So if I know my this velocity component, base, you can do one thing. Let me check. Is I am writing it perfect now. U sin theta I am getting how much? 30, and u cos theta is 10. Oh, set 1 minute. Sorry. Here I have written 20. It's 10 or not? That's why I was getting wrong answer. Why I thought I got wrong answer. So basically, tan theta is how much? This is 10. So 0 0 cancel. So theta tan theta is equal to 3, or theta is equal to tan inverse 3. So angle of projection is how much? Tan inverse 3. And basically I can write now cos theta also now. This is 3 by 1. Cos base is 1. So cos theta is 1 by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse will be root under 3 square plus 1 square, which is root under 10. So therefore our what it is asking, speed of projection. So speed of projection will be how much? If I know my theta and if I know my cos theta and sin theta, I can do now, I can write now. Basically u is u cos theta as it is given as 10. So basically u is equal to how much? 10 root under 10 meter per second. Is this clear for everyone or not? Yes? Are you able to get me? Confirm? This was your doubts now. So now you can solve. I'll share another TPP by today. Okay, this was one more question. You try. Tomorrow we'll have a discussion on this. Okay. Is that clear? Okay, so you can leave now. Okay. So I'll end up this meeting. But as there is one guy on YouTube who have some doubts. Okay. स्पर्श सूर्यवंशी भाई मैं हूँ एक्चुअली बिहार से. मैंने मास्टर्स ऑफ फिजिक्स एंड एस्ट्रोनॉमी किया NIT राउरकेला से और अभी LN में सीनियर लेक्चरर हूँ. स्पर्श तुमने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि at t is equal to 3 second what is happening. So simple, whenever this theta, this horizontal component is only 0 degree, when theta is basically this theta is 0, that means what? The only horizontal velocity is along the only velocity is along the horizontal. There is no vertical component, and that happens only at maximum height. Right or not? So this is why I considered at t is equal to 3 seconds 0 degree, and that is h max. Disperse, is this clear? Okay. तो हाँ बोलो रक्षा. हाँ 30/10 ही आया ना, तो 0 0 कैंसिल, तो tan थीटा इज इक्वल टू 3/1. ठीक है. So इसीलिए थीटा इज इक्वल टू tan इनवर्स 3. ओके.